In May of 1961, a group of us were trapped in a church in Montgomery, Alabama during the Freedom Ride. And Martin Luther King Jr. made a call to Bobby Kennedy, the Attorney General, and told him we needed his help. He needed to do something to save us. Robert Kennedy spoke to his brother, the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. He placed the city of Montgomery under martial law, called out the United States Marshal, and federalized the Alabama National Guards to protect us. Years later, I had an opportunity to meet with President Kennedy in June of 1963. I was 23 years old, along with Martin Luther King Jr. and others. And it was at that meeting that we told the president that people were restless all across the South. And someone in the meeting spoke up and said, we're going to have a march on Washington. President Kennedy sort of smiled and said, if you bring hundreds and thousands of people to Washington, won't there be violence and chaos and disorder? And we would never get a civil rights bill through the Congress. And we responded and told President Kennedy this would be an orderly, peaceful, nonviolent protest. On August 28, 1963, 10 of us spoke at the march. Dr. King spoke number 10, I spoke number 6. And after the march was all over, President Kennedy invited us down to the White House to meet with him. He stood in the door of the Oval Office and he greeted each one of us. He said, you did a good job, you did a good job. And when he got to Dr. King, he said, and you had a dream. To be in the presence of this man, this president, you knew, you felt we were standing in the present of history. The inaugural address of President Kennedy, when he asked all of us, all Americans, he said, in effect, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. He fortified me. He pushed me. He pulled me to go out and do more to help create a more perfect union. And so many times, working in the civil rights movement, working as an elected official, I feel like I'm carrying out the message, the plea of President Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., and others.